Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So student, in the previous class we had completed with the chapter sound. You see, in the sound we had discussed how sound is produced. We have seen that what are the different mediums which is essential for the propagation of the sound, as well as we have seen how a human ear hear sound. What are the different types of a sound? What are audible and inaudible sound? What is the audible range in which we are able to listen anything? Or what is the inaudible range? What is ultrasonic? What is infrasonic wave? As well as the difference between noise and music. If noise is produced, it causes a lot of a pollution. So we have understood that what is noise pollution, what is the cause of noise pollution, how we can, what is the effect of a noise pollution, as well as how we can reduce the effect of the noise pollution. Now let us start with a new chapter, and that is chemical effect of electric current. So when we talk about the chemical effect, okay, I hope this term is really very common for you people. It is electric current. With the electric current, there is a kind of an energy that we know about it, that is electricity. Electricity, these days you know that electricity is really very important part of our life. We cannot do anything without electricity. There is always need of electricity for anything to operate any machine, to live, to see anything at night. Everything we are dependent on the electricity only. Okay, and if we talk about the electricity, so electricity is basically when we talk about the electricity, actually this electric current is it is made up of charges. Because of the charges flows will form the electric current, and that is the electricity only. All the thing which is present around us, it is made up of a very small unit, very small unit, that we call as an atom. And when you look at inside that of the atom, you will find that there is a nucleus which consisting of a positively charged particle, and there are electrons which is negatively charged particle which revolve around it, which move around it. Okay, so atom consisting of a nucleus, a positively charged nucleus is there, and the electrons are there which used to revolve around it. That is that will constitute the atom here. Here, when you look at the electrons or the negatively charged particle which revolve around it, actually because of these charged particles only, when these charged particles start flowing, suppose in a wire it is flowing, that will constitute the electric current. So the electricity is generated, electricity is produced by the charges, the flow of the charges here. Now let us start the chapter with the two things here. One is the conductor, other is the insulator. Conductor and insulators. Now here we said that the charges when flow, it means the electric current is flowing in it, and when electric current is flowing in it, obviously that we can say that is producing electricity. So here the substances, there are substances. Say electric current, it does not mean the charges, every substance will allow the charges, every substance will allow the electric current to pass through it. There are substances which do not allow electric current to pass through it, and on the basis of that we have categorized it into two types. First one is the conductor and then insulator. The substances or those substances which allow the charged particle, which allow the electric current to pass through it, they are called as a conductor. And the substances which do not allow electricity to pass through it is called as insulators. So conductors, any substance which allows electric current to pass through it. Is called as conductor. They are called as conductors. Okay, there are a lot of examples, student. For example, silver. For example, silver. For example, copper, silver, gold, aluminium, bronze. These all are good conductors of electricity. These are what? These are the good conductors. There are substances which do not allow electric current to pass through it. That is called as insulator. Here, when I said here good conductor, what is the difference here? Good conductor will allow that more and more electric charges, or it will allow electric current to freely pass through it, while bad conductor will allow the limited amount of electric current to pass through it. Insulators do not allow at all, it do not allow the electric current to pass through it. So, substance which allow electric current. Which allow electric current to pass through freely. To pass through it freely is called as good conductor. That is called as a good conductor. Like silver, gold and aluminium. While substance which allow electric current to pass through it less freely is called as bad conductor. Example: tungsten, ceramic, nichrome. So these are also a conductor, but yes, they are a bad conductor. So there are a conductor which supposed to be a good conductor. There are conductors which are a bad conductor. Okay, now what about insulators? So insulators, they do not allow electricity to pass through it at all. They are called as insulators. In general, the definition is that it allows the electric current to pass through it, but if we differentiate it into the good or bad, so which allow more and more electric current to pass through it or allow the electric current to pass through it freely. There are which do not allow the electric current to pass through it freely, it means it will allow less freely electric current to pass through it. And then comes the insulator. So substance which do not allow electric current to pass through it is called insulators. Is called an insulator. An insulator. For example, glass, dry leaves, dry paper, plastics, distilled water, rubber, wood, etc. These all are what? These all are the substances which do not allow electric current to pass through it. That is called as a conductor or insulator. Okay. If we talk about an electric cable, there are substances which is basically made up of both electric conductor and insulator. See, you can see the wiring that is done in your house or the electric cable. When you look at the cable, you will find that inside the cable there is a wire of aluminium and that is covered, aluminium or copper, and that is covered with the insulator, that is covered with the plastic, with the rubber. Basically, it is done in order to prevent any kind of a shock that can occur to the person who is handling with it. So, electric cable or any wire, it is a very good example in which we will find that conductor and insulator both are there. Inside the cable, inside the coating, aluminium wire or the conductor is there, and outside the insulator is there. Okay. Similarly, you can see in lot of machines also inside that insulating body. The insulating body is made up of plastics. So basically, the inside it is the wires, which is a good conductor, and in order to prevent any kind of injury, any kind of electric shock, then it is covered with the insulating material. Okay. So these are some of the examples of the conductor and insulator. Now let us see, we have understood here conductor and insulator, but the thing that we have to understand is the chemical effect of electric current. For that, we must know that what kind of electrical conductivity will be there in liquid. Electrical conductivity of liquids. Okay, electrical conductivity of liquids. Again, when we talk about the electrical conductivity of liquid or electrical conductivity, what does that mean? It means it is referring to the ability of a substance which allow the electric current to pass through it. Liquids generally they do not conduct electricity, but yes, there are some of the liquid which consisting of ions, consisting of the minerals. Because of that, it will be very easy for the electric current to pass through it. So generally, and the electric conductivity of a water, it depends upon that what kind of a water we have taken, what kind of a liquid we have taken. If it is a pure water, pure it means distilled water. If it is distilled water, then it will not allow the electric current to pass through it. But yes, if it is a water, tap water, so it will allow electric current to pass through it. So the meaning of the electrical conductivity is electrical conductivity refers to the ability of a substance which allows electric current to flow through it. Electric current to flow through it. Electric current to flow through it. Okay. There are liquids which generally do not help in conduction of current, but some liquids allow the electric current to pass through it. Okay, so liquid generally do not help in the conduction, but there are liquid which allow the electric current to pass through it. Let us see what kind of electrical conductivity will be there in water. So, electrical conductivity of water, it depends upon what kind of a water we have chosen. If a distilled water is there, then it does not conduct electricity. And what is the reason behind it, student? Since it do not consisting of ions in it, so there will be no ion, so there is no path for the electric current to pass through it. So because it does not consist of any charged particles, in it to conduct electricity. So they do not consisting of a charged particle in it, and thus the electric current does not flow through it. But if it is a tap water which consisting of a charged particles in it, so that will help in electricity to pass through it. That will consisting of a charged particle in it, thus conduct electricity. So if tap water is there instead of a distilled water or instead of a pure water, if a tap water is there, then water like what? If not only the tap water, but or water present in the present in the lake, ponds and wells contain charged particles, thus conduct electricity. Okay, so thus it help in conducting the electric current, or thus it help in conducting the electricity through it. Okay, so this is the electrical conductivity of water. What about the other liquids? Yes, one more thing there is, student, in case of the water, that how the effect of impurities on the will help in increasing the electrical conductivity. What happens? Suppose you dissolve anything like salt. So this salt, when it get dissolved in the water, actually here the dissociation happen. It means they get divided, they get break down into the small charged molecules as charged particles, and due to the generation of these ions, due to the generation of these charged particle, that will help the electric current to pass through it. That is why when we increases the impurities, so you can see the difference here, pure water or a distilled water and that of the tap water or a water which is present in the lake, pond and the wells, on the well, then this water will be what consisting of impurities. So we can say increasing the impurity is actually increasing the electric current, increasing the electrical conductivity of the water. So we can say that when impurities like salts are dissolved in water, so when the impurities like salts are dissolved in water, what happened? Basically, its atoms break. Its atom break up into charged particles, and these particles carry electric current from one part of the liquid to another. So generally what happens when the impurities are dissolved, they get dissociated. Their atoms actually get dissociated. You know that inside the atom positive and negative charged particles are there. So when the atoms get dissociated, so the dissociated means what? It get break up into charged particles. When you know that the atom consisting of a plus charge and negative charge, protons are there and electrons are there. One is positively charged, other is negatively charged. So when they get breakdown, so the positive charge and the negative charge get separated from each other, and because of these charged particles present in the water help the electric current to flow from one end to the other end. This is how the electricity is passed. Okay, so we can say that because of the presence of the impurities, it will be quite easy for the water to conduct electricity. It will be very easy for the charged particle to make the electric current to pass from one end to the other end. Now, electric conductivity of liquid other than that of water. conductivity of liquids, other liquids. So there are a lot of other liquid, students, which used to help in conducting electricity. A lot of acids are there. Citric acid is there, hydrochloric acid is there, mineral acid and organic acid is there, which usually help the electric current to pass through it. But it does not mean that all the liquids, or they allow all the other liquids other than that of water will allow the electric current to pass through it. Like honey is there, alcohol is there, then oil is there. These are what? These do not allow electric current to pass through it. So there are liquids even other than water which help the electric current to make it flow from one end to other. Otherwise there are which do not allow electric current to pass through it. So a lot of acids and bases are there. Several acid and bases, when dissolved in water, are good conductor of electricity. Are good conductor of electricity. Lemon juice, vinegar, most of the salts like potassium iodide, sodium chloride, are what? When they dissolve in the water, they get dissociated, and we can say that they are what? They are a good conductor of electricity. Okay. However, most of the substance which exist in liquid at room temperature like alcohol, honey and oil are bad conductor, or we can say that they do not conduct electricity. Okay, so they do not conduct electricity. Most of the substances which exist in a liquid form, they conduct electricity, while some of them are there which do not allow electric current to pass through it. Now, on the basis of that, we have also categorizes the liquid into two types, and that is electrolyte and non-electrolyte. So substances which in its molten state, when we talk about the molten state, it means in its liquid phase. What happens when you heat anything? We say we are melting it. Suppose you are heating an iron, so we said iron melt. So the molten state is the liquid state of the iron. This is what is the molten. So substances which in its molten state allow the electric current to pass through it, we use it in the form of a electrolyte. And substances which do not allow electric current to pass through it are called as non-electrolyte.